To all you sports fans, did you know you can stream this podcast on Spotify right now? It's easy. Open the app on your mobile device or desktop, click on the Browse channel, then click on the podcast section. You can also stream on your smart speaker. Now, it's that much easier for you to stay up to date on all the latest and greatest in all things sports, thanks to Spotify.
Welcome again to Highly Questionable. This is Izzy Gutierrez. What do you like on the show today, Izzy?
I mean, does anybody know what's going on with Kevin Durant?
My father just said he's got a short fuse. Dale, papi.
Who are the two teams you want to see in the title game?
Man, I know that we love that these traditional programs, and we know their coaches, and we know their histories, and we love people who are alleged to be good at college basketball traditionally, even if the entire sport is being investigated by the FBI. But Loyola's run specifically, even though you don't know their players, you don't know their coach, you know only about them that they have this nun, and that's enough for you to worship. I want that team to make these games close and interesting. I'm going to be really mad at this team if it loses by 30 to Michigan. But I want these games to be close and interesting because I want to see them in the final, and then I want to see them do what Butler did a few years ago to Duke. They didn't beat Duke, but they were right there against Duke, and it made them matter as a program.
That's the thing with these Cinderellas here, where you want to see them maybe have a first or second round upset, and then you're like, no, let the big guys take over. If they go this far, you might as well let them completely ruin everything and win it all, or as Butler did, almost win it all and scare a program like Duke. I feel a little bit sorry for Michigan here because they're on their own run and they ran into this ultimate Cinderella team here. On the other side, Jay Wright versus Bill Self. I think we want to keep Bill Self as the butt of our jokes and let Jay Wright go ahead and win another championship. So I'm going for Villanova and Loyola Chicago.
Can't root for Jay Wright in those suits against Sister Jean. You're not allowed to do it. You're obligated by sports law. You cannot root for that salesman.
Is anyone interested in my picks?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes,
America.
Papi, of course. So Loyola against Michigan. Who you got, Papi?
I got Loyola.
Yeah. Okay, big
That's
surprise.
Right.
Name a second thing about Loyola. Name a second thing other than one thing you know about Loyola.
Loyola? That's a Latino school. Loyola.
Okay,
University in Chicago. Loyola. That's right. That sounds
there.
Latino to me.
Kansas versus Villanova. Who does Papi have?
Villanova.
Oh, also a Latin school.
Villanova. Loyola against Villanova. Two Latino schools, going for all the marbles. That's a history lesson. You know what I mean? History in the making.
Yeah, just shut up already.
All the Latin marbles.
How did it make you feel watching the Whiffer hit two massive bumps on opening day?
All right, he calls the Whiffer. What happened? Yeah, see, he calls Giancarlo Stanton the Whiffer. He gets mad at him. He asks coming into the show, how many times did the Whiffer strike out yesterday? No, the Whiffer wasn't striking out yesterday. Big bang in New York, or not in New York, but in Toronto. On behalf of New York, that's his first at bat, a giant. It's not merely a home run. It's opposite field at that place, which isn't easy to do. And then, oh, dear Lord, Clipper, just run out of the arena and the country somewhere else where you are not required to pitch baseball. Oh.
Well, the question is, how did it make me feel? I assumed it was just a question for you, Papi. But how did it make me feel? I am so happy for him right off the bat. Yeah. Because, look, the one thing that made me more angry than even the Marlins turning over their roster again was watching him struggle, Giancarlo Stanton struggle over the last few years, where it would look like occasionally he has never hit a baseball in his life or seen one coming at him. He straightened himself out enough to win MVP of the National League on a mediocre team, and now he's in this pressure-filled place in New York, and he starts off this way. That's a great sign for him, great sign for the Yankees. Very happy for him.
Listen to where this guy is coming from, because we talked to him on the radio, and after he got hit in the face by a baseball, there were times that he stepped up to the plate, and he would hear the catcher's mitt pop with the baseball, and he was like, I never saw that. I never saw that baseball. It was already in the mitt. To go from that to where he is here, it's a cool story, no matter how much Papi rips him.
Oh, they're in love with him now because he's hitting homers, but
That's
wait
right.
until the middle season turns around. He
Yeah,
starts striking out now. One until 5, 6, 7, 8 times. Then he's going to get a lot of boos.
Yes,
it's not going to be, 10, 50,000 boos. You're going to have about 80,000 people.
All of New York.
Yeah. Boo!
Never mind.
Boo! You watch. Mark my words.
Never mind the 65 home runs he's going to hit. They're going to boo him like that.
Okay. I mean, Mike his words. Michael.
Like it.
What does Joel Embiid's concussion and broken face mean for him, the Sixers, and the NBA?
Markelle Fultz, a few days ago, we were talking about all of the roaring applause around him and how supportive Joel Embiid was of Markelle Fultz. And now Markelle Fultz just broke the process's face last night. Look at this. Oh, ow. There are very few human beings in the world who can get near that man's face. And this is 2 to 4 weeks. And Izzy, I don't think it much matters because it's not tied to any of the other injuries. And he's going to be back for the playoffs. And he's going to be great in the playoffs. And their seeding is pretty much locked. So I don't think this is damage to anyone other than Markelle Fultz, who needs to not be doing this.
I mean, it's not great for the NBA because here they have this rising star who might miss his team's first round of the playoffs, and they might exit the first round of the playoffs because he's not there. It's not great for the Sixers because if you look at the numbers, he is so important to that team. Their numbers when he's on the floor, so much greater when he's off the floor. But when it comes to the sort of the Sixers' progress here, it really doesn't mean that much. Unless you all of a sudden expected them to make the NBA Finals, if they happen to get ousted in the first round, fine. At least they're in the playoffs. The process continues, and next year you can reset those expectations with presumably 3 healthy stars.
Please, Joel, you got to come back. You got to come back. You know, I mean, you got to be back in those playoffs, buddy. I can't wait for you to get back. You know, you got to be LeBron. LeBron cannot make it to the finals this year.
That's right. Yeah.
That's right. You got use a mask. You do something. A helmet. You know, something like that.
A helmet.
We got to be back. You got to be back.
Yeah, he needs you. There aren't a lot of people to get in LeBron's way, Joel.
Do you expect other top recruits to follow Darius Beasley lead and skip college to enter the G League?
This is Syracuse's biggest recruit in 10 years, really, or it was their biggest recruit. He has decided, no, I'm not going toward the FBI investigated injustice where they do not pay me for my work. I'm going to go get paid somewhere. He was thinking about overseas, but now this is a legitimate option. I do expect more people to do it because if you're not interested in education, if the reason you'd be going to college is only as a pipeline as the NBA, why not concentrate on that, get away from the books, and go get paid for your body's work?
I'm surprised at how surprising this is. I'm surprised at how few people knew this was even an option. And what was intriguing about this to me was Adam Silver basically saying, we don't really advertise that the G League is available from 18 and up. And I'm questioning why? Why wouldn't you advertise that? Now, obviously, you want to change that one and done rule if that's the case, but why wouldn't you advertise that? It's basically what everybody's asking for is for people to come in, give these guys a job opportunity, and not necessarily give them the pressures of the NBA. So if it works out well for Beasley, I see a lot of people following in his footsteps.
This is why I don't want Adam Silver's opinion on one and done or who should go to school. The NBA has a cartel. They've got a free minor leagues in college basketball with all of this stuff. They don't have to have their own developmental leagues. They could just keep using college basketball, and when you have those two entities involved in the cartel, you get the injustice that you have, which is college basketball FBI investigated under scrutiny because the whole thing's corrupt.
Well, I know another guy from Syracuse who should be in the G League.
Who's that?
Carmelo Anthony.
Oh, there it is. Oh, bang.
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 Is Kevin Durant's relationship with referees starting to become a problem?
My father came in here mumbling today. He's like, hell's wrong with Durant, man? I didn't know he had a short fuse. Ejected 5 times. Look at this. Last night, he is getting ejected again. Oh, he is used to getting that call every time.
I mean, is it not the first half? Why are you getting this worked up?
I find interesting how bad a winner he's been. I thought he would get joy, relief, and release from going there and winning. And he knows he's better than everyone else now because he's got the team to back him up. And so he does things like this, which are Draymond Greeny, and it doesn't even make any sense given his previous personality.
It's just confusing because he'll say one thing and do something else. He's talked in the past after ejection saying, hey, I need to be better than that. I need to calm down. He knows the Draymond Green story. He sits through it every single game that Draymond plays, and yet he still responds like this. I understand the idea of not getting enough respect from the refs. LeBron talks about it all the time. But come on, like he's so thin-skinned about everything else, it just makes you wonder, when is he going to finally get it when he is on top of the world, when he is a champion?
Think about the defiance that this dude is playing with. He's already the champion. He was validated. He's searching things on Twitter to find the insults. And now he's doing this with his winning when they know they're the best basketball team in the world, and they're doing it this way. Draymond Green plays on an emotional edge, always has. I don't recognize this dude playing on an emotional edge.
Man, that's not fair. LeBron does the same. He never gets thrown out of a game.
That's right, Papi. He does do the same
stuff. He's always on the referee's face. Yes, goes to the rim. He doesn't get a foul call.
That's right.
And if he falls down, oh man, I'm telling you, he's going to break. That's right. Yeah. That's right. It's not fair. You know what I mean? I see Kevin Durant's point. You know. Why me and not LeBron? You know, that's a good point.
LeBron doesn't use the same language those guys use. LeBron's a little bit more respectful.
That's right, and usually LeBron's not, there's not spittle coming out, because I think that's what got Durant ejected, is there was spit all over the place there.
Coming up next on Highly Questionable.
Oh, for the love of God.
Oh, no.
I mean, this guy. Come on. Oh, no. What is it? Why? This is infuriating. This is infuriating.
Clearly lived 8 lives already.
Everyone in the neighborhood knew about Bobby. Bobby, the basketball boy, they called him. Bobby wanted to go pro someday, so he was always out in the driveway shooting hoops. But one day, his mom came out and told him, "Hey, your wife wants you to take out the trash?" His mom was visiting, and Bobby was a grown man. He had kind of missed his window. Plus, no one had ever seen him actually make a basket. But on the other hand, Bobby had heard how Geico could save him money on car insurance, so he switched and saved. So, it was all good.
Time to play the game that has an elite wink.
He can't wink. He doesn't know how to wink.
Do your question.
You give us topics and events, and we question them. Was that good?
Yeah, that's good. Do you question if this week's Sidney Crosby goal is better than last week's Sidney Crosby goal?
Wow, this is an amazing thing. In all the years we've been doing this television show, this old Cuban man, this South Florida guy, we don't know very much about hockey. So our hockey coverage is all about a guy gets hit in the junk, where's the fight, there's an own goal. We are actually going to celebrate a hockey player's greatness right now. I don't think we've ever done it before. So Sidney Crosby did this recently, this right here, where he's tipping the puck to himself and just being totally absurd. Right, yeah. Which one's better here, is he? This, doing that, or what he did last night in overtime, and this is just as ridiculous. Look at this.
Crosby might have a chance. Had to wait for it, though. Crosby.
Yeah. Super relaxed, super relaxed.
I mean, get out of here with that.
What? Yes. That's ridiculous.
This one has to be better.
Yes.
Why? Because the first one he tapped to himself and then shot it in. This was an unexpected off the crossbar, back in your face. Oh no, I still have the wherewithal to slam it into the back of the net. Let's be honest, he's probably the best baseball player in Pittsburgh also. This guy's ridiculous.
All right, hold on a second. Let me see just the very end of that. I just want to see the very end of that because I want a guy, now again, I'm very bad at covering hockey, but I want you guys to see the Black Hawk who whiffs on this so you can see the difference between that guy and Sidney Crosby.
Yeah, all he wants to do is get a stick on it. Meanwhile, Sidney Crosby's lasering it to the back of the net.
Let's look at that guy again. Again, I don't know anything about this Black Hawk person, but look at him and how he whiffs and how he realizes on his face at this moment, oh my God, Sidney Crosby's so much better at this than me.
I believe it says on the back of his sweater, not Sidney Crosby.
That'd be funny.
They were playing the Devils, not the Blackhawks.
Okay, I told you that I'm not an expert at these things. I just come here to mock.
Yeah, they're both red. Yeah.
Do you question Dario's honesty?
Dario is his name, and he was winning in the winner's circle the other day, and this is what he said.
Brett Brown said that he's not intimidated by anybody in the Eastern Conference. Are you?
He's not scared?
Are you intimidated by anybody?
No, I don't want to play against LeBron. You know, he is obviously, in the top 3 players in the world, in the history maybe, and I don't want to judge him. Everybody else, are welcome to come here.
Welcome. I love that. Can we just get every athlete to honestly answer a question? You could see the thought bubble forming over his head. Oh, there's no way I can lie about this. Oh, yeah, no, of course I don't want to play LeBron. Who the heck wants to play LeBron? Let's move on with somebody else. Next question.
Makes me want to interview foreign players with those kinds of mustaches more to see if they'll say the thing that Kemba Walker, is in his head, right? He's played against LeBron 26 times. He's 0 for 26 against LeBron James. He is feeling in his head what that guy just said out loud.
Do you question how long he'll be doing this?
Okay, this is a very open-ended question. Who is he and what is he doing? Oh, for the love of God.
Oh, no.
I mean, this guy. Come on. Oh, no. What is it? Why? This is infuriating. This is infuriating.
8 lives already, and it's just toying with this. What is he doing? To make people faint just by watching this.
I am honestly feeling a little sick right now. No. No, do not trust the building structure that way.
I mean, I hope he's doing that for a really long time, but my money's on not very long.
I know one guy who shouldn't try that.
Who's this going to look like?
There we go.
I mean,
this looks way safer.
Well, this guy is not as good as this other guy. You're about to, he's not quite. Oh. Yes, this guy here does not adhere to the discipline that the other guy does. It would probably go less well for him at the top of a skyscraper.
Yeah, safer for your tailbone on top of a building, I guess.
Highly questionable. This broadcast from the Clevelander Hotel on beautiful South Beach, Miami. Time to play the game that is having a Final Four party at Dan's house. Yeah. And everyone is invited. Yeah. He always has the best snacks. See?
All right.
Oh, no.
You tell us what to watch on television tonight. We tell you if we're intrigued.
Tonight on Fox Sports Florida, Cubs and Marlins.
If I tell you the Marlins are starting their season, and what's the worst possible way that the first pitch of the baseball season could go for the Marlins, you might say to yourself, well, a home run, and you'd be right. But what if just before that, the first baseman also threw the ball into the upper deck, fooling around, and hit a kid in the head? Because that happened yesterday, too. Let's check this out. First pitch of the Marlins season.
Seems unnecessary.
First bleeping pitch
of the season. Of the baseball season.
Yeah, there's that sound. Yeah, don't bother. Guy who used to be Giancarlo Stanton looking up at those. That doesn't matter. Yeah, home run. There it is. A little more of that in your face. Unbelievable. Get out of here, Marlin. Faster than that baseball. And that concludes our Marlins coverage for the entire season. Izzy, are you intrigued?
So let's see. So far, we've seen that. We've seen Derek Jeter on TV making fun of the Marlins statue. We've seen J-Lo come and visit A-Rod during a game that he was calling. I think I'm good with baseball for this week.
Papi, are you intrigued?
Oh, see, I'm very intrigued. I'm expecting a big crowd in the game today, buddy. I'm telling you, it's going to be a big crowd. You're not going to be about 3 or 4 people only watching that game. You know, no lines on the concession stand. You know, there's going to be no waiting time. You know, that Derek Jeter should talk about that. No waiting time, you know, so come out of the ballpark. I only got about 10 people here.
Okay, that is a good advertising slogan. Come out to the ballpark to watch the other team be Major League and eat our snacks because nobody's there.
No waiting.
Saturday night on Sun Sports, Nets and Heat.
Yeah, I'm intrigued, but my father, again, has gotten me in trouble with the Miami Heat. Keep in mind, the Miami Heat have given him season tickets. He goes every game as a credentialed media member, even though he's never taken a journalism class. Free tickets. He eats all of their ice cream, and they asked me the other day, can you get your dad to lay off of Dwayne Wade? And this is what happened after that. Yeah, there you go. Refusal, just a total refusal. That's a headline in a national paper. You see my face there. Look at my face. That's him.
Happy.
Yes, he's so happy, but look at my face. Yes. And there you go. Izzy, are you intrigued?
I mean, I'm intrigued. Sure, I would like to know more. I'm also like to know, are you upset that they're not using your real name and they just call you Papi?
No, that's fine. I mean, they can use whatever they want to use, you know, but I stand by my position. I will not change it. For all the ice cream in the world, all the popcorn, all the free food, all the free tickets, you know, I will not change my position. Somebody got to take a stand against Dwayne Wade and LeBron James in Miami. I'm the only guy. I'm the only guy holding that banner.
You are certainly the only guy on that.
That's right.
Yes. Well, what if they take away your tickets and ice cream?
Well, you want to get into that.
I can come to that.
I'm always open for negotiations.
Okay, all right.
That's right. I'm always open for
negotiations. See, there, you didn't offer enough is the problem. You just ask him to do it. What do I get? More ice cream?
Tonight on Fox Sports North, Timberwolves and Mavericks.
Timberwolves are exceptional. Karl Anthony Towns plays for them. He is very young. He is very big, and he is also exceptional. Now, he and Ben Simmons got into a video game back and forth the other day. Let's look at that.
I see you a PUBG master, though, so I'm going to let you be.
You getting it? Hop on, man. Play one.
All right. So Simmons wants.
You got time. Who do you play tomorrow?
Hawks.
Yeah, you got plenty of time.
Simmons is no rookie.
Izzy, are you intrigued?
Yeah, not in that game in particular. I'm very much intrigued by Karl Anthony Towns. He says he wants to be the best player to ever play the game. I wish Andrew Wiggins thought the same way.
Papi, are you intrigued?
Oh, see. Are you kidding me? Karl Anthony Towns, that's a player from Santo Domingo. You know, he's a Latino player. I'm telling you, that kid is going to make history in the NBA. You know, and then you got, on top of that, you got the Butcher. You know, he's pulling all the strings. You know, he's pulling all the stuff. That's a hell of a 1-2 combination.
He calls him a butcher because he looks like a butcher. Thibodeau.
That's right. That's going to be a hell of a 1-2 punch from now on. Moving on, buddy.
All right.
I'm telling you.
All right.
I'm watching that game all the way.
All right.
All the way.
Who's playing in the game, Papi? Who's playing in it?
Who's playing? Who?
Okay, very good.
That's all the time we have for today. Thank you for watching.
Papi's headed to happy hour. Thanks for watching. We'll talk to you on Monday. Scrub? Scrub? Let me give you the hard ones, Papi. Scrub? Let's try it. Scrub?
Killed it.
Go ahead. Do it all. Do the whole thing.
Goes scrub, pa pa ka ka ka, skip dippy 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 pa pa, and a poo poo brr, boom sky, do 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 kung kung dum dum boom boom.
I tell her man's not hot.
I finally got to a sentence.
I just saved hundreds of dollars by switching to Geico. I feel like a whole new person.
Disclaimer, you will not become a whole new person. This is impossible. You might be able to join a gym or diet program, buy a new wardrobe, get hair implants, but your DNA and physical form will remain the same. Geico waives any and all liability if you attempt to become a new person, except a cyborg. If you choose to become a half-human, half-cybernetic organism with lasers for eyes, the Geico legal team would be cool with that, because, quote, laser eyes are pretty sweet. Pew, 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 end quote.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more.